Welcome, Aries, to your April Council card. Thank you very much for subscribing. The intention of the Council cards is to deliver a deeper understanding of the four-card spread, as well as a insightful counsel from the major arcana of the tarot deck. This area of the tarot is devoted to the evolution of consciousness and can often be a direct link to our higher selves. So let's begin. In the position of the overall mood or energy of the month of April, we have a beautiful card, and it is the Knight of Swords. Swords are symbolic of air, air symbolic of the mind. So this is considered to be the Lord of the winds, the Lord of the mind. It's fire and air, though, so it's not just air. There's fire, there's passion also, which fuels or ignites the air, the mind. So there's almost a sort of a conflagration, a sort of a storm in the mind. You become very analytical, very clever, deft, intellectually deft, agile. Also, you become mentally courageous, in a sense, sort of the attitude of, well, bring it on. Whatever that may be, you're ready. Your verbal skills are at a peak. And you are actually fond of argument. And I don't mean that negatively. Argument as in a debate, where you passionately arbitrate or are the arbitrator of a particular point of view. At its worst, it's simply mind games, playing mind games for the sheer sport of it, which is not too good, but is a possibility. So you are making mental excursions into various subjects, logical journeys, enjoying subtle ideas, even conundrums or contradictions. You are going to be very observant, and you will have keen judgment. So without the addition of earth here, because this is fire and air, you lack this month the stability of earth. And you might get waylaid in your own passionate pursuit of ideas, knowledge, information, argumentation. The caution is not to let your mind be or override your values, the values that come from your heart, from the water element. Not showing enough sympathy for your opponent or for the circumstances that you find yourself in or for other people. This is another cautionary warning about the card. So, since your logical mind is so keen and sharp this month, be careful that you aren't sacrificing your humanity, or that you aren't becoming tyrannical because you are so quick-witted, sharp. An excellent card for a student, scientist, lawyer, those professions that utilize the intellectual, logical faculty. Excellent. Well, that sets the scene. Let's move on to your challenge. Well, it's no wonder, with the Knight of Swords as the overall energy of your month, that you would receive the Knight of Pentacles reversed as your challenge. Perfectly understandable, because there's a certain amount of stubbornness associated with this card in reverse. Coldness of heart, really, too. A drive towards one's goal, which excludes anything that isn't practical. That is, you just want to achieve your goal. You don't want to get too bogged down in human feelings or in the whims of other people. So that really is your challenge. You see, as far as I can see, any challenge has to do with being the best that you can, the highest spiritual value that you can ascend to is always how we measure one's challenge. And here, your challenge is not to become stubborn in your opinion, not to be corrupted by the dollar, by monetary reward, not to do or to act or to offer your services simply for the material reward if it's in contradiction to higher spiritual values. That's your challenge. To be human, to be kind and considerate and loving. Nonetheless, to achieve your goal with both feet on the ground. For in the overall energy, you have all this intellectual, passionate acuteness, force, sharpness of mind, and like a sword in the hands of someone who is heartless, it can be dangerous. In the hands of someone with a pure heart, it can be used to protect the innocent, be that you or someone else. So the challenge is to avoid material corruption, coldness of heart, and stubbornness of opinion and mind. That's your challenge. So let us move on into the unexpected. So the 10 of Cups reversed, Aries, unexpectedly. You see, the 10 of Cups upright is total emotional fulfillment from some effort that you've been making towards a coming together with a team, with a family, group, organization, community, a community of mutually supportive members. But it's reversed. And it's interesting because your challenge is to not let your mental prowess override your heart. Remember. Unexpectedly, then, there is a bit of emotional discord within the group, family, community, team, or organization. The members of this team effort, let's just say, are finding emotional harmony difficult. Maybe because you're in such a well polished, intellectually charged, mentally acute state of being. You're ready. You want to take on opponents, anyone who crosses you intellectually. It might lead to a feeling of a somewhat isolation or alienation from that team or that group, or the lack of emotional harmony within that group. And that surprises you because previously it had been very harmonic. The team had been working well together. Some wedge is placed into the workings, the mechanics, the flow. Let's just say the currents are blocked the emotional currents are blocked. It surprises you. You weren't expecting that. Maybe you were expecting more support, more unity, more cooperation. So forewarned is forearmed. Let's see how we end. The Seven of Swords reversed. So the circumstances are different from what they would be if it were upright. You see, this is a moving away from the card meaning secrecy or privacy or keeping something totally to yourself. It is, on the other hand, about being open, about being communicative, honest, not hiding. But not hiding your opinion, not hiding behind any veil of illusion. Somehow you are confident, and you're even encouraged by some of the things that have happened, regardless of the 10 of Cups reversed. You learn something from this, from your 10 of Cups reversed. Meaning you learn something about why this community effort, this previously harmonic exchange of support is lacking or has diffused or is obstructed in some way. You learn something from that. And you're now moving those wheels in your head pretty fast. And though you don't want to make any real large moves at the moment, let that ruminate at the end in your mind some more. Though you have a better idea of the direction you want to go, there's still more to learn at the end of the month. You see, the final outcome of all of what transpires in April is not concluded yet at the end of the month. So don't jump in. Don't leap without some forethought. Put your ideas to test. Test them out. And take the advice, the good advice that you hear from others. Reach out to them. Don't hide. Don't stay within the shell of your own intellect. A whole new world is about to open up to you. It's in other words, there's a tremendous potential for social connectivity and sharing with others, being open with them. But the culmination of all that is not yet to come at the very end of the month, but there is you're much closer to it. There's an attempt to become socially fused, communally fused, but not yet. So that is the final outcome. Now let's see what Spirit has to offer for this very interesting play of mind and heart and community that you are involved in. And what you have, Aries, as your counsel from the major arcana is the card of strength. And again, no wonder, because this has to do with mastering the inner animal instincts. That is, not to become the slave of your impulses or the lower drives towards just mere survival, or that attempt to attain success at any cost, or just to be driven by previously programmed appetites. The card is about understanding what you're suppressing as well. We don't need to suppress artificially those negative impulses, but to address them in the full light of consciousness. Otherwise, they will trip you up, and you will find yourself saying things or doing things that you really don't want to. Maybe hurting people verbally, because you have a talent for that this month, and every month really, but particularly this month, to keep yourself the power that you have this month in spades, equivalent to swords, I suppose, isn't it? I'm not sure. This tremendous power you have to yield to the higher impulses within you and not the lower. It's saying that you need to conquer the lower passions and replace them with the higher passions. The passion for joy, love, compassion, and unconditional devotion to the betterment of yourself and mankind. To keep those values at the helm of what drives you forward. Accept that which is a natural part of all human beings, the lower parts that have been placed in us through social conditioning. We are not born with negative impulses. We are taught them. So this is the means by which you unteach yourself. Unfetter yourself from your own inner programming and live by the highest ideal that you can achieve. That will allow you to wield the tremendous intellectual power you have this month for the good, for your own good, and for the good of your team, your community, your family, for those for whom you care. Live your life fully, it's saying. Be passionate. Bring joy to those with whom you interact. That is your counsel this month. Thank you. All the best to you. I hope to see you next month, Aries. Happy birthday.